Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, new Exosisters, they are pretty good, I'm not going to lie. This is the current deck list, and they got like 2 to 3 new cards. 2 of them being monsters, so one effect monster, the one you see here, Malpha I believe the name is. It kinda gives you a 1 card exceed. So that it's super straightforward. A 1 card rank 4 exceed play that special summons the counterpart, I guess, from the deck, or one of the Exosisters, one specific one from the deck. So it's basically a 1 card exceed that again could maybe you extend even to one of the Exosister exceeds to potentially search another monster or search an Exosister spell and or trap, right? Depending on which cards slash extenders you have in your deck or hand, preferably hand, of course. So going first, the deck can definitely go first, the deck can definitely go second. The advantage of going first is, of course, you can establish your board. And this is also one of the new cards. It's one of a new rank 4 exceed one that kind of works like Utopic Sexel. Or, you know, the Utopic Future package, just to take at least 2 rank 4 Exosisters and then use them to exceed summon your Magnifica, I believe the name is. And it's a tremendous boost for Exosisters. It can banish once per turn 1 card from your opponent, so that's already fantastic by detaching a card. 2, it can attack twice, and it's sitting at a whopping 2800 attack, so that's already really sweet. But another thing is that as soon as your opponent activates a card effect, you can detach a material and then resummon an Exosister card, at least the one you detached. So what you want to do is keep this one. I believe it's called Michaelis, you know, the one that banishes cards from your opponent. You want to keep that as an exceed material during your opponent's turn, and boom. As soon as your opponent activates any material, just like what happens here, oh no, and banishing one of the cards, yeah, doesn't really matter. But again, if your opponent activates a card effect, detach Mika and then resummon it to potentially banish another card from your opponent. So, at least interruption-wise, this deck is pretty scary and it's pretty legit. Then again, it's super vulnerable to disruption, but as you see, I'm running a lot of hand traps. I think you can definitely do it because, again, the archetype got more rank 1 exceed options, 1 card exceed options, rank 4 exceed options, so that's really nice. So detach something with Mika, try to search one of their spells and or traps. I need to get rid of the Kagemusha Knight, so that's why I summoned one of the, I believe it's Sophia, I'm not sure. I'm not running all of the Exosisters in the main deck at 3, as you saw, and that's something I haven't mentioned yet. There is a big catch of this new, your Malpha, you know, your 1 card rank 4 exceed, is that you can't summon any other monsters other than Exosisters in that turn. So, as you saw in the build, I'm still running the, you know, the Gigabyte, the Archfiend, the monsters that can special summon themselves if you have like spellcasters on your side of the field to, I guess, give you more rank 4 exceed plays. And I didn't do that because of that restriction, but in the long run, I feel those are still needed. So drop the rank 4, again, you know, search on all the spells and traps. Also, one of their new ones is, it's kind of like a karma cut, banish 1 card from your opponent, plus, if you already exceed summoned during their turn, thanks to this new one, you know, your Magnifica, that has the capability to exceed summon during your opponent's turn, you can banish another monster, or, you know, well, eventually exceed for another monster to potentially, you know, special summon any Exosister from your extra deck. Because, as you know, the best one is this one, your Mika. I believe that's the name, you know, the one that banishes 1 from your opponent and could potentially search either a spell or trap from your deck. And then, depending on what your matchup is, you can either, you know, block your opponent from special summoning from the grave, for example, or block graveyard effects or something like that. So, as a whole, they might need some more Exosisters to, you know, kind of give you, at least to give your opponent more blocks, you know, because it's super focused on graveyard or graveyard effects, but I mean, it is what it is. And this, I believe it's called Vadis, the trap that kind of gears 2 different Exosisters from the deck, but I eventually dropped that card to 1 because of this. Most decks are just playing around it, are not playing into it, or it's just flat out useless. So I think it's still fine as a one-off, but the other trap, the Karma Cut alike trap, is just much better. And you have the space for that. So going for the first rank 4 exceed, this is the, I'm not too familiar with the names, but that should be the Monster Searcher. Again, try to search the Malva, you know, the new one that can special summon itself and then fetch something from the deck. The 1 card exceed. So go for Zeus, eventually still drop the, the Imperm for, well, we could definitely expect Construct here. Construct is definitely getting negated, and there is still the Zeus, right, just in case. I mean, you're always going to negate the Construct, because again, Construct is a big threat for Zeus itself. So, one of the Shadows that has the effect failure, effect if I'm not mistaken, so I'm definitely going to chain Zeus and... It's fine though, I have another rank 4 exceed play ready for next turn, so again, I can, well no, I was about to say, but I have the Gigabyte, and that's, you know, kinda against the class of your Malva. So, this was a nice top deck, so again, now I'm not forced to special summon the Gigabyte to my side of the field, so I still, you know, can potentially search my Malva from the deck to get another rank 4 exceed play going, so, well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much, right? So go for Mika indeed, banish something from my opponent, plus detach and then search one of the, you know, Exosister spell or trap. So search the Karma Cut alike trap that potentially, you know, gives me more interruptions during my opponent's turn. And yeah, the double attack is definitely more than enough to attack for a game. So this new exceed is actually pretty OP. It's actually very strong. Double attack, negation, banishes stuff during both players' turns. Plus, it can exceed summon for more negations, for more locks, I guess, blocking your opponent from using the graveyard. Here, I guess, I feel it's just better to leave both Exosisters in, you know, defense. As soon as my opponent manipulates the graveyard, I can, you know, go for, you know, those sweet, delicious free exceeds, 1 card exceeds. Go for Mika. Again, prevent my opponent, I guess, from sending something from the deck to the graveyard with, Hayate. And I like Bells. Bells is definitely one of the better hand traps this format. To, you know, prevent my opponent from searching or special summoning the, Ray from the graveyard. So again, try to regain control, and that's where the Exosister cards definitely come into play. Mika to try to force out the Pekros, plus, if the effect is not negated, to search any spell or trap from your deck. Go for the double rank 4 exceed play for Magnifica. Double attack, the opponent is going to survive, but detach to banish the field spell. And during my opponent's turn, because I only have 1 material left, I feel it's better to you know, re-exceed for potentially the Mika, which should be there. So dodge Zika, I believe the name is. Yep, Mika is there. Again, I can potentially banish a card from my opponent. Yep, there it is. So that's all cool, but still Ray is there, so this is all fine. But both Hayates are gone. Plus, I have multiple rank 4 exceed plays ready for my turn. So Mika detached, search the packs, which is basically their rota, right? So exceed number 1, which should be the Monster Searcher, because again I need another Exosister in my you know, hand, and eventually potentially draw a card. I believe there's also a misclick on my part, but doesn't really matter too much. Go for another one, I believe blocking the graveyard. So nope, Ray cannot be you know, special summoned again. And yeah, this is more than enough to attack for a game. So it's actually pretty scary. Imagine them getting more Exosisters that maybe give them a wider variety of potential locks. That's again pretty scary. So 1 card Megabot, that's cool. The Imper, I'm not going to lie, that's definitely a very solid top deck. 3 of the Karma Card Trap, not the best, but because again I needed to control at least 1 Exosister to gain the most use out of it. So we know the Alistair is there for next turn, so the potential another you know, fusion summon could definitely be there. Get Nibiru, and that's of course a big problem. But again, Shadows there not coming into clutch as well. So not sure. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, I guess you could leave, or at least not drop Nibiru, right? And then go for that full free Shadow Fusion. Then again, you don't really want to give Exosisters more exceeds on the field. So drop Mika, try to banish something from my opponent, detach to search something, right? search packs. I guess keep all plays open for next turn, but this is more than enough to attack for a game. So the double attack definitely, again, I'm saying it multiple times before, but it comes in clutch, like twice to 2800, plus banish something, plus exceed during your opponent's turn. Like these 3 support cards, they are really good, especially for, you know, a deck like Exosisters, because before it was an okay deck, but like these 3, it's actually a pretty scary deck now. Then again, there are very important choke points for your combos, so is it going to be tier 1 top tier? Probably not, but it's a solid tier 2 deck, I feel. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Yugioh signing out. Peace.